Okay, it's May 23rd, and it's 6:31 p.m. We'll call this meeting to order, and we do have a quorum. This meeting of the Seguin Independent School District has been duly called, and that notice of the meeting has been posted in accordance with the Texas Open Meeting Act, Section 551.043 of the Texas Government Code. 1B, we'll start with the pledges to the United States flag and Texas flag, followed by a moment of silence. And tonight, leading us to the pledge is Garrett Reinhardt, Seguin High School senior.
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to the Texas, one state, under God, one and indivisible.
Now we'll have a moment of silence. Now we'll move on to item 1C, the superintendent announcements.
Good evening. In lieu of a verbal report this month, I would like to take time to share the May edition of the Matador Minute, which we taped last week. It contains a special message for our Matador class of 2023. Superintendent of schools, and what an exciting time for our school district as we wind down this school year. We have so much to celebrate. On May 26th, our Matador class of 2023 will walk the stage during the Seguin High School graduation ceremony. I'm excited for our seniors as they begin a new chapter in their lives, and today we have our top 20 Seguin High School seniors with us. Congratulations on your success. Your hard work has paid off. I, along with our Board of Trustees, wish all of our seniors the best in their future endeavors, whether joining the workforce, serving our country in the military, or attending college or university. Rest assured that your school community is extremely proud of you. Seniors, we look forward to celebrating your accomplishments next week. And remember, it is always a great day to be a Matador. Again, I just want to congratulate the senior class and welcome you all to this evening's board meeting. We have a lot of student recognition this month, and we are very excited about that.
Now we'll move on to item 1D, which is board member reports. And we'll start off with Mr. Benavo.
This past month, I went to Seguin to go look at the 18 Plus program. What Kelsey Dean, the Director of Special Education, and her staff showed me was very revealing and transformative for me. I saw students with disabilities function just like any other student. Initially, I did not see students with disabilities. I wish we could make a video of what they did and show the community what they do, which I think is very important. I congratulate Ms. Dean and her staff for all the great work that they do.
It's not really fair that I have to pick one because I went to so many amazing things. The
18 plus, the CTE decision day, industry signing day. I saw so many amazing things in the last month in our district. But I have to say, and I might be a tiny bit biased, but seeing our kids perform in Les Miserables this weekend was amazing because it's all the fine arts coming together. It was also high school students interacting with middle school students and elementary students in the best way, and bringing hundreds of people in to see the amazing things that we do.
I'd like to say that one of the fun things I've got to do lately is the budget planning committee. And actually, we've had a couple of meetings now, and it's going really well. Denise is on it, so is Mr. Josh down there, right? And so far, we've gotten some good things done, and it's very interesting so far.
Well, like Denise, I've been to many things, and like Mr. Amador, visiting the 18 plus programming was very eye-opening. And I have to admit that when I got to my car, I had to shed a few tears because I didn't see the disabilities. I saw a program that is allowing our students who would maybe graduate and never be involved with the public again, being able to have a job. And that's so important. And I think there's been a theme through all the events that I've been to that, you know, our goal is exceptional students to exceptional adults. And time after time, event after event, I see that our students have been able to be involved in programs that make them better people. And I'm so thankful for all that we do. And just a brief shout out here to the choir program. And we're going to miss Dr. Parrott immensely. But I went to their concert, and they have built such a family there, and I've really seen that program grow. And I was so taken by the performances that I asked Dr. G a favor that we would get to see a quartet perform this evening. And so I'm excited that you get to see just a little taste of what I saw at that concert. Thank you.
Well, I have to echo what Ms. Duncan was saying about all of the great programs that we kind of saw the conclusion to at the end of the school year with the CTE signing, the 18 plus program. What was the other one? But anyway, the one I'm going to talk about tonight is the FFA banquet and and what all those kids are doing, and what those students and young adults are doing in the FFA. It blew my mind. I didn't really have a full grasp of what, it's not just raising animals and going to shows and competing like that, but those students have to go out into the community, they have to do a lot of volunteer work, they have to do a lot of mentorship, there's a whole path of leadership through the FFA, and I gotta say that's a very impressive program, and it offers a lot of opportunities to the youth in Seguin. I'm really looking forward to getting that ag barn done so that more people can participate in that FFA, and the big shout out to Deborah Riley and her family for the big support that they put forth to the FFA program. It's awesome. I'm really sorry, I can't remember the name of the teacher for the FFA. She was fantastic. I'm so sorry. I'm going to play the new guy card still. She was fantastic. The whole thing was great, and I look forward to seeing it next year.
I went to various events, but I'll just focus on today. I really had a great day today. I started off at the Ball Elementary, right into the kiddos bilingual class, and I was very impressed with their behavior, and it's just the teachers out there are doing a fantastic job with those kids. And I was impressed with everyone. Each one of them told me where they were going to go, what elementary school they were going to go to. And I ended in the middle, then I went to MBLC graduation. Once again, that's another real nice program that this district offers to the students that really face some challenges, but I was glad to see that it was a pretty big crowd, so that's all I have. Now we'll move on to item 2A, which is campus highlights, and I'll let Denise make the introductions.
This evening, we are Matador proud to learn about activities and initiatives in our schools. Let's welcome Weinert Elementary School Principal Tiffany Way, who's here to share information about the Fine Arts Program at Weinert.
Travis Sutton and Miss Haley Russell. They have dived in headfirst to create a successful program, and I am excited that our students will continue to build the fine arts program in Seguin ISD. And as a side note, many of the students in Les Mis were former Weiner students or current Weiner students. So we are Matador proud of them. But I've done enough talking for now, so I am going to show you a little video and let our students do the talking.
I love music because I can listen to it, and I love how just the rhythms, they just explode, and you can dance to it, and you don't have to do a certain move for the song. You can make up, do whatever you like to do in music, and I love how I can sing because some songs are very easy to learn, so I can learn to sing them, and I don't just have to sing them in the class. I can just sing them at home, anywhere, and I love how I'm learning about the woodwind, all the families, composers, like Beethoven and Mozart, and that's what I love about music. I like art because it's fun to paint, and Miss Russell is so amazing, and we get to do a lot of fun art stuff. I like art because it is fun, and you get to paint and draw, and you get to make fun creations. Embrace all of the bright colors, and I get to, like, it's not like you do what they say you do. You get to sometimes they say, okay, you're gonna draw this, but you can make it however you want. You don't have to follow this certain pattern, do this certain color. You can just let all of your emotions feel out. Sometimes you're angry, so it helps if you draw something that you love, because then it shows when you look at something you love, it makes you feel happy. I love music because you can actually dance to music. I like singing, and we've also learned about families, woodwind, brass, percussion, and string. And Mr. Sutton is really nice, and I like him as our music teacher. And we've learned about the do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, and do. And then when you do stations, I really like music, and Mr. Sutton I think is the best music teacher. And we also learn about, we get to dance, we get to learn songs, and we also get to sing. We have to perform sometimes. We have to perform some songs sometimes, and that's what I like about music.
If you need joy, just come to us, and we'll fill you with joy.
Well, that certainly put a smile on our face. I think everyone needs to watch and listen to that video. Thank you.
So our next item is 2B, and it's the student/staff/board/community recognition. It will be Dr. Gutierrez and Sean Hoffman.
Good evening, Board President Gary, Dr. Gutierrez, and trustees. Right now, we'd like to introduce Dr. Jeff Goldhorn. He serves as Executive Director for Region 20 Service Center in San Antonio. He'd like to share a few words with us this evening.
Good evening, President Guerra, Board of Trustees, Dr. Gutierrez. Thank you for the opportunity to share some great news with you all this evening. So as you know, ESC 20 recently selected Dr. Matthew Gutierrez as the HASB Superintendent of the Year for Region 20. So I'd like to read a congratulatory letter that we actually shared with Dr. Gutierrez as well as Mr. Guerra late last week. So if I may, so it is with great pleasure that I congratulate you, Dr. Gutierrez, on being named the 2023 ESC 20 TASB Superintendent of the Year. This award is based on outstanding leadership, management, school climate, school board superintendent relations, school improvement and instructional leadership, fiscal management, and school community relations, all qualities that you hold. I echo the words of your Seguin ISD Board of Trustees President, Mr. Alejandro Guerra, when he said, his personality complements his leadership skills that are necessary to effect change within an organization of more than 7,000 students and 1,100 employees. Even-keeled, well-spoken, and friendly, he articulates in a manner that is welcoming and easy to understand. He has a unique ability to speak to people at their level, interpreting things through their lens. You are described as a strong and effective leader that rallies for a positive school climate while fostering a leader within everyone. You exemplify excellence in education and personal perseverance while positively impacting your district. I commend you for leading Seguin ISD through a strategic plan redesign during spring of 2022 to increase academic scope and rigor. The successful $131.5 million bond initiative was pivotal for the district as unprecedented growth is forecasted over the next 5 years. Your relationship with your board is one of a servant leader that incites communication and innovation while creating strong partnerships with both city and county elected officials, business professionals, the Chamber of Commerce, and various civic organizations. Under your leadership, you have stayed attuned with your stakeholders through multiple communication platforms. The Superintendent Student Advisory Team is an exceptional way to grow leadership capacity and receive direct feedback from the most important clients, the students. I was especially pleased to learn that a scholarship is awarded to Seguin High School graduates planning to study education at the college university level. You have effectively fostered relationships with stakeholders by sharing the success of the district with your robust presence on social media. Indeed, you have proven to be a strategic problem solver and an advocate for public education. We are honored to have the opportunity to serve leaders like yourself at ESC 20. We share your excitement at such a great accomplishment and thank you for the vision to support your students and community of Seguin ISD. Congratulations, Matthew. We wish you the best in representing Region 20 as you move forward to the TASB State Selection Committee. So what this means, just to clarify, so every region nominates a group of superintendents to compete for Superintendent of the Year for the region. There are 20 regions in the state of Texas. TASB school board representatives like yourselves come in and review all the nominees. We had 8 nominees this year at ESC 20. So this group of board members reviews the nominees and makes a selection for the region based on a set of criteria. So each region then will select the superintendent of the year, so there'll likely be 20 of them this year. And those 20 will go on to compete at the state level, which is what Dr. Gutierrez will do next. So again, congratulations. I know you were selected as School Board of the Year last year, so Seguin is well represented at ESC 20 these last 2 years. And y'all are doing really good work out here. It does not go unnoticed. We recognize it. We talk about it a lot at ESC 20. I hear the folks at the agency talk about the work that's happening with the school district. So congratulations, and know that we're very proud of you and the leadership you're providing. Thank you for the time.
Thank you.
Dr. Goldhorn, thank you so much for being here this evening to recognize me as the Region 20 Superintendent of the Year. I am honored to represent Region 20, one of the biggest regions in the state, but more honored to represent you all, Seguin ISD. This is a collective effort, and so this award is not just for me, but it is for you all, and especially our students, as we have many students here sitting and waiting to be recognized, and many of which are on my superintendent's student advisory team. You all make the magic happen every single day in the classrooms, on the field, and for that I am so proud and look forward to advancing and competing for State Superintendent of the Year. Thank you.
Seguin ISD has a long storied tradition of outstanding music programs. At Seguin High School, our students can choose from a wide variety of music-based offerings, including band, choir, mariachi, guitar, music composition, and dual credit music appreciation courses. Our 2 middle schools, we offer band, choir, and mariachi. Plus, high school and middle school students can participate in musical theater. The foundation is set at our elementary schools, as we saw with Weiner tonight, with general music for kindergarten through 5th grades. Thanks to these programs and dedicated educators, our students have gained valuable skills and knowledge that are integral to a well-rounded education. Tonight we are proud to announce that the Seguin ISD Music Education Program has earned the coveted Best Communities Music Education Award for the 5th straight year. To qualify, Seguin ISD answered detailed questions about funding, graduation requirements, music class participation, instruction time, facilities, support for the music program, and community music making programs. Responses were verified with school officials and reviewed by the Music Research Institute at the University of Kansas. We are honored to receive this national award, and it couldn't be made possible without our community's support for the arts. We value our partnership with TLU for music programs offered to our elementary students, the work done at our middle schools to further develop the love of music, and the discipline and dedication of our students at Seguin High School. Led by Seguin ISD Fine Arts Director Mark Theas, Our fine arts educators are appreciated for the leadership they instill in students each and every day. Thanks to their leadership, we will likely receive this honor for many years to come. Tonight, Mr. Tejas is joined by several music teachers from our elementary campuses, as well as our band, choir, and musical theater programs. Please come forward for a quick photo op. Our next group is a prime example of why we earn the Best Communities for Music Education Award. We are fortunate to have the Seguin High School Choir Quartet with us this evening for a performance. Gentlemen, please come forward.
Who's that coming down the street? Who's that looking so petite? Who's that coming down to meet me here? She's coming here. Who's that? You know who I mean. Sweetest who you've ever seen. I could tell her miles away from here. I'll make it clear. Yes, sir, that's my baby. No, sir, don't mean maybe. Yes, sir, that's my baby now. My baby now. Yes, sir, we decided, ma'am, we won't hide it. Yes, ma'am, you're invited now. By the way, by the way, by the way, by the way, when we reach the preacher, I'll say, yes, sir, that's my baby. No, sir, don't mean maybe. Yes, sir, that's my baby now. There's one more thing. One more thing. One more thing. One more thing. When we reach the preacher, I'll say, where is that wedding ring? Yes, sir, that's my baby. No, sir, don't mean maybe. Yes, sir, that's my baby now. I'm telling the world I'm ready and out, ready for a marriage vow, 'cause she's my baby now. No, don't mean maybe. She's my baby now. My baby now.
Absolutely amazing. Thank you all for that. It was beautiful.
And yes, thank you, Caden Lagore, Harrison Dean, and Cohen Sweeney, Gerardo Cortez, and of course our choir director, Dr. Samuel Parrott. One more round of applause. Each Each month, our campus principals designate deserving students we are privileged to honor during our regular school board meetings. We are Matador proud to have 3 of these outstanding students with us this evening. Students, please step forward with your family as we announce your name to receive the Superintendent's Student of the Month Award. First up, we have Braden Wade. Come on, Braden. Braden is a 5th grade student at Weinert Elementary School. His teacher, Ms. Aguilar, notes that Braden is a very bright student who always tries his best. He is kind, works well with his peers, and looks out for them, and he is an example of what a Weinert Matador should be. Braden's parents are Brandon Wade and Terry Tate. Congratulations to you, Braden. Congrats, Braden. Next, we have Trinity DeRemer. Trinity is a 7th grade student at Barnes Middle School. Her teachers report that she is extremely motivated. She is cooperative and remains focused in all class activities. She is very creative and fun to work with. She is very responsible, academically focused, and is also involved in athletics, theater, and other school activities. She has a caring attitude toward her classmates and is always willing to help them out. Trinity's parents are Brian and Brittany DeRemer. Congratulations to you, Trinity. Next honoree is Garrett Reinhardt. Garrett is a senior at Seguin High School. He has been extremely involved during his high school tenure. For example, he is a member of the varsity tenor bass and varsity mixed choirs that earned UIL sweepstakes earlier this year. He has won numerous awards as a cadet in the Navy JROTC program, including the Reserves Officer Association Medal for Exceptional Achievement and Civic Excellence. But wait, there's more. Garrett is an honor thespian who you may recognize as having the lead role in the Matador Theater production of Les Miserables. In his spare time, he serves as a volunteer firefighter while holding down a full-time job. After graduation, Garrett plans to join the United States Navy. Garrett's parents are Gerard and Rachel White.
Seguin ISD Apple Award recipient for May is a one-year employee of the district, but he has already made a tremendous impact on his program and community. His energy and desire to teach not only the skills of his program, but also the value of serving one's community has transformed the program. He understands the value of community partnerships and is always willing to meet with industry partners to collaborate on projects for his students to work on. During the course of 2022 to 2023 school year, his students have framed all 38 walls for a Habitat for Humanity home being built for a family right here in Seguin. They have built 20 beds to benefit families in Seguin for the nonprofit Sleep in Heavenly Peace. And they are currently in the process of framing the interior walls for the new South Texas Pregnancy Care Center facility being built on Kingsbury Street. Let's have a big Matador applause for this month's Superintendent's Apple Award winner, Seguin High School construction trades teacher, Jason Rice.
Seguin ISD students accomplish great things, and our next three honorees are prime examples of the Matador spirit. While it's an accomplishment to become a published author as an adult, it's an even bigger accomplishment to add it to one's resume as a high school student. Seguin High School junior Jamie Thomas did just that, putting together a collection of her poems that she wrote. Her book is titled Gifted, a Poetry Collection. According to her English teacher, Kim Saunders, it's an intriguing, truthful, provocative book that illuminates the inner workings of a young, gifted person. Much of the book is an inside look into a person coming of age in today's world. The work is thoughtful, artful, and honest. Jamie's writing is authentic, and she reveals universal human truths in a way that is mature yet fresh. Be sure to purchase her collection of poetry, now available on Amazon. Jamie, if you can come forward for a quick photo op, please. Jamie's not here tonight, but y'all go out and be sure to buy her book. Several Seguin High School student athletes competed in the recent UIL 5A State Track and Field Championship meet held in Austin. Not one, but two medaled at the state level. First up is senior Christian Ramirez. Christian earned a gold medal by taking first place in the 400-meter wheelchair race and a bronze medal for a third-place finish in the 100-meter race. Additionally, he finished 7th in the state in shot put. Christian, if you're here, please come forward. ever want to see a good smile, check out Christian's pictures on our Facebook page when he won those gold medal. When he won that gold medal at state, you're not going to find a bigger smile anywhere. Well deserved. Next, we have Daisha Schuler, who earned a silver medal for her second place finish in the 100-meter dash at state. Daisha is a sophomore, so we may be... Go ahead, Daisha. She's a sophomore, so we may be recognizing her from a year from now for her next accomplishments at state track.
Congratulations.
The next group of students who will be recognized are those who have served for the past year on the Superintendent Student Advisory Team. I, along with members of my team, have an opportunity to meet with these leaders ranging from 5th grade all the way to seniors in high school on a once-a-month basis to be able to get the students' perspective on things and to share important decisions that are being made. This is an absolute outstanding group of students. They helped to launch, facilitate, plan the first annual Matador Family Night that was held back in April. They had a vision for there to be a community-wide event to bring students and families together to create an even stronger sense of Matador family. So if you had the opportunity to attend that amazing event at Matador Stadium, or if you had an opportunity to see the photos on social media, that was, I have to give 100% credit to this group of students. And I just want to thank them for their service over the past year, and I'm just honored that we get to recognize them this evening. And so students, your names will be called. If you'll come up for your certificate, you'll be able to shake a board member's hand and then come back and we'll take a group photo. But let's give these amazing scholars a hand.
Aiden Gutierrez, Riesenmeister Middle School. Haley Benavides, also from AJB. Kendra De La Garza, AJB. Marley Garcia, Barnes Middle School. Alexander Gromit, Barnes. And also Ethan Tipple from Barnes. Andre Watts, Jefferson Elementary School. Jaden Bernal, Kennedy. Ella Rafferty, McQueenie. Isaiah Fuentes, Potlock. Raylyn Rodriguez from Rodriguez. Caden Rains, Seguin High School. Eleanor Crittenden, Seguin High School. Danielle Nyame, Seguin High School. Yvette Hernandez, Seguin High School. Jeremiah Dodson, Seguin High School. Rajan Tovar, Seguin High School. Garrett Machado, Seguin High School. Ava Twittero, Seguin High School. Rychan Dilworth, Seguin High School. Alexa Nieto Ruiz, Vogel. And James Johnson, Weiner.
Great job, thank you. Great job.
Again, congratulations to these students.
Our next honoree is a truly deserving one, having dedicated 35 years of service to Seguin ISD. Let's look at her timeline. She started as a kindergarten teacher at Burgess Elementary in 1988. 10 years later, she started teaching kindergarten at Weiner, where she stayed for 18 years. In 2016, she made the move to Ball Early Childhood Center, where she has served as an instructional coach, assistant principal, and her current role for the past 3 years as principal. When you think of Ball ECC, you can't help but think of her as well. Let's have a round of applause for Deborah Riley, 35 years.
At least 5, maybe 5. Thank you. Thank you. Thanks. Thank you. Thank you. Okay, I want to
accomplishments that this district is going through. Thanks to everyone. We'll move on to the next item is 3, which is audience with the board. The Seguin Independent School District Board of Trustees designates a time for audience participation at the beginning of each meeting to hear persons who desire to make comments in accordance with board policy BED local. 3A, those wishing to speak shall sign up before the meeting begins, stating the concerns, noting the agenda item they wish to address. Audience participation is limited to 5 minutes. The board shall not deliberate any subject that is not on the posted agenda. And we do have 3 guests. We'll start off with the first guest that signed up is Linda Moreno, and her topic is Superintendent of the Year. And our VP, Glenn Jenkins, will be taking time.
You know, I'm very short-winded, so we'll take the full 5 minutes.
Greetings, Dr. Gutierrez, President Guerra, and the rest of the board. I'm so honored to be here this afternoon because I was not able to be with Dr. Gutierrez last Friday when the announcement was made, or 2 Fridays ago, May the 12th, when the announcement was made of his selection for Superintendent of the Year. I was at the state track meet watching those kids run and participate in the different events. I'd like to congratulate you, Dr. Gutierrez, on a very well-deserved recognition. You have dedicated the past 6 years in moving our district, our beloved Seguin ISD, forward. You've moved the expectation bar from adequate to exemplary. And that doesn't mean, or please note that exemplary is not just for star scores. Exemplary is all the recognitions that we heard about today, plus the others that we have seen through social media. We have received so many academic recognitions, athletic recognitions, and within those athletic recognitions, we have seen all state honors too. We have also been working diligently with CCMR. We've had so many CTE recognitions, dual language recognitions, financial recognitions, fine arts recognitions, Region 20 School Board of the Year, and so many more that if our community has been following you on social media, they would have seen all that you have accomplished. You have a very skilled knack of mastering the ability to put puzzle pieces together. And those puzzle pieces are the ones that come from the different avenues that our school district is made up from. Our community has recognized your ability to lead our district, and you do it very humbly. And we sit back and we watch in awe as we see or hear from you eating lunch at the cafeteria with the cafeteria workers, walking the classrooms, starting the morning at elementary schools or middle schools, opening car doors for kids as they get out. And also being a part of school walkthroughs to see exactly what kind of lessons and curriculum is going on in our classrooms. This recognition of Region 20 Superintendent of the Year has put Seguin ISD on the map. In this time of many of our educators leaving the career, leaving the field, there are going to be many that are going to want to come work for Seguin ISD under the leadership of a Superintendent of the Year. Thank you to the majority of the board that saw the whole picture and realized that Dr. Gutierrez was so worthy of this resolution that you passed. The majority of the board voted on this Superintendent of the Year resolution. And for that, I thank you, because you saw in him and you never underestimated his ability. Dr. Gutierrez and school board members, please continue to move forward. Our district is going places, and under Dr. Gutierrez's leadership and your governance as a board, we will be known nationwide. Every day is a great day to be a Matador. I thank you, and now I'm on my way to the Mariachi Matador performance. I'll shout some extra gritos for you, and thank you, Dr. Gutierrez, for also, the program was here when you came, but you've made it what it is today. Thank you very much.
The second individual signed up is Mary Hammond, and it's concerning the Joe Carrillo / Countryside Potential Project.
Yes. In the interest of time, while those maps are being filled out, I'll go ahead and get started. Y'all have a long agenda tonight. Oh, I'm sorry. Thank you. Okay, I'll go ahead and get started. My name is Mary Heyman. I am the Assistant City Engineer with the City of Seguin. And I've been fortunate enough to work with the employees of the school district, who are fantastic to work with, by the way, on developing this project for potential funding opportunities. And so what you're looking at here on those maps is 10-foot, it's called a shared use path, I'll call it a sidewalk, that's basically what it is. A 10-foot sidewalk along one side of Countryside Boulevard, from FM 466 down to Joe Carrillo, and then along Joe Carrillo, starting from the far east side of the property at Barnes Middle School all the way to State Highway 123. And also enhanced crossings at both Kinnicky Elementary and Barnes Middle School. And so what those enhanced crossings look like are those they're RRSBs, or rectangular rapid flashing beacons. So you walk up to them just like you're at a traffic signal, you push the button, and then it has yellow flashing lights that are on both sides of the road, so that you have extra protection for those pedestrians. Obviously, as a school board, y'all are interested in how it will help the students at both of those schools. It will also have a greater community effect, because we'll be able to connect to the Social Security Administration, the existing sidewalks in the area. But right now I'm going to focus on the impacts to the schools. One of the parts of this funding application that we're working on, it's due in early June. I'm hoping to have everything wrapped up this week. That's my goal. So that I can get it to our grants coordinator so she can tie it up and make it look really pretty. The funding covers all of the construction costs, all of the engineering costs, and then the city would be responsible for any right-of-way acquisition. In working with the school district, they have said that all of the right-of-way that we would need for this project that's along school property, they would donate. So I want to thank the school for that. They've been a great partner with this. I'm looking forward to, like I said, it's a community project, but it really impacts the schools. And I'm a big proponent of people walking to school, riding their bikes to school. I walk my son to Jefferson as much as we can. It's rained a lot recently, so I can't. So I like seeing kids out there. It gets some of the wiggles out too, so it helps. But then just having the option to do that. Right now, there's lots of people. I've seen a lot of kids walking out there in the afternoons, but they're crossing everywhere. Their parents are crossing everywhere, and if we can get those protected areas, those crossings at each school, so that we can really focus. Hey, cross here. This is the protected area. To get that, enhance the safety there for those morning drop off and afternoon pickup activities is really the goal here. So I think. Let's see. I had notes, but I kind of just talked about my own thing. One other aspect of the project is adding school zone flashers on Joe Carrillo. So we do have a school zone there, but I think the flashers are really helpful for a roadway of that type. There's no homes fronting the road, so it's not like we're going to have any obnoxious lights in anyone's bedroom windows, but having those flashers will really bring attention to that school zone and hopefully increase compliance, because when I was out there were some people driving a little too fast. So I've worked with the police department, and I know they're aware they can't be everywhere at once, but it's good to know that maybe we can do something to help slow people down as well, as we're encouraging pedestrian and bikes. So I just wanted to let y'all know about this project, and also let you know how awesome it was to work with, mostly James Paisana. He's fantastic to work with. So he'll brag on the staff at Seguin ISD as well. I appreciate their cooperation and the partnership that we have with them between the city and the school district. So I just wanted to let y'all know about this project. And I have
1 minute, please.
a few business cards, so if y'all have questions and you want to reach out to me, I'll leave those here with y'all as well. So thank you guys for your time, and thank you also for your service to the students and the community of Seguin. I really appreciate it.
Thank you, and thanks for working with this district. I'm sure the collaboration and partnership will continue. The next individual that we have listed on the items with the board is Letty Machado, and the topic is the process of filing bullying grievances.
Good afternoon, board members. I came today to speak as a mother that has fought a battle for the first 2 weeks of school this school year with this district in regards to a multitude of bullying issues. I have followed the grievance process that is laid out on your website and parent-student handbook. I have kept grace this entire time until now because I am a Christian leader in my community. I have participated and given input in the past for the best intentions of our students at Seguin ISD. I advocate for what is right for humanity when it comes to our children's education, parental rights, and mental health, no matter what people think of me. I stood in this boardroom a year ago, the day the Uvalde shootings happened, and I saw and I heard all of you in great sadness, to the point where at the time President Jimenez was crying with emotion in her speech. I saw with my eyes, felt with my soul, the devastation you all had sitting there in your chairs, thinking to myself, that there is going to be a great change in our district after the Uvalde massacre, knowing that the shooter suffered from bullying in his school years. Since then, you had offered a safety task force meeting last June at the Performance Arts Center. Also, I was one of those parents that attended the Safety Summit this year. The David's Legacy Foundation was invited to speak in regards to educating our middle and high schools about the effects of unresolved bullying. We were glad to see Seguin ISD offer this message, although the meeting was cut short and offered no opportunities for questions from the audience. There is minimal guidance offered to parents of students who have been bullied, and it seems that our principals go out of their way to not categorize behavior as bullying. Your grievance process is not designed to help students being bullied. Rather, it seems as though it is designed to silence them. As I waited for over an hour and a half for your response to my son's bullying case, I was met with disgust, as most of our board members returned from your private meeting, laughing and boasting amongst yourselves. The outcome to our grievances did not surprise us, as for over 8 months we were met with pushback from nearly all of the Seguin High School administration. Not thinking how your actions and your body language would come across to a grieving family or student who suffers for months coping with mental and physical abuse from bullying issues, or a family's strenuous battle of fighting with paperwork, emails, meetings, and no guidance from a school in the process of their bullying case. Board members, you did not think of the parent that had to walk into a house to explain to an 18-year-old man the outcome that you all have decided in his bullying case. Thinking to myself as his parent, I could come into my house mad and upset, instilling anger into my son, triggering hate, PTSD, or future motives in his mind because of past bullying issues at your school. Or I can remember my fearful love for God that has given this son to me to guide in his ways. I'm not raising an exceptional citizen. I'm raising a law-abiding leader. Families need supporting board members to stand up for what's right and that are vigilant with their questions towards the school when solving issues that truly affect our students' safety, mentally and physically. To see the data backing up the change in the safety of humanity through your actions. Bullying is a very big problem in this district that needs addressing from the beginning it is reported. I hope you take the time to make this a priority this coming year to guide families through the grievance process, educate families throughout the year with resources for mental health, and initiate a better solution for our principals and teachers when handling the process of these bullying cases. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Machado. And now we'll go to item number 4, which is reports/information items. 4A, introduction of newly appointed administrators. Ms. Cindy Moreno.
Good evening, President Guerra, Dr. Gutierrez, Board of Trustees. We have one administrator to announce today. Originally, we were going to have 2, but Mr. Mermert is still employed at his last district, and so he's closing up the year. Had an 8th grade graduation. Can't hold that against him. But we're very happy to welcome Dr. Cristobal Saldana. Dr. Saldana joins us from Los Fresnos ISD, where he served as an assistant principal of Los Fresnos High School. Dr. Saldana has over 21 years of experience in education, with 11 of those serving on a high school leadership team. Dr. Saldana's vast experience in programmatic and campus management will be a value added to the new high school leadership team. Please help me welcome Dr. Saldana, Associate High School Principal.
President Guerra, Dr. Gutierrez, members of the board, I want to say thank you for this wonderful opportunity. I am honored and humbled to accept this position. I'm excited to be a Matador, and I'm ready to serve my new community and district.
Thank you. And welcome as a Matador, and also welcome as a graduate from Maquila Maria. That will be at Cachiosa High School. What a graduate.
Welcome, Dr. Saldana.
Now we'll move on to
Again, we just remind you that this is grounded in the strategic plan, our 4 strategic priorities based on our 7 goals with our short-term performance objectives to accomplish those longer-term goals and our strategic actions to ensure those performance objectives are met. Tonight, we just have a brief update on the bright spots and areas of focus, and Mr. Sean Hoffman will be here to present both of those to you.
Thank you, Mrs. Pape. Next slide, please. The clicker's not working well. Good evening again, trustees. We just wanted to give you an update on the Community Engagement Task Force. We spoke last year, and we figured it was time to talk about a bright spot that we're proud of, as well as an area of focus that we'd like to see some improvement on. Back in April, we felt that our community engagement helped successfully pass Bond 2023. As you all know, that was a very special one for us because that proposition was on the ballot back in November. 8,000 people voted against it and 5,000 people voted for it back at that time. And due to really, I'd like to say it's a grassroots effort. It didn't come down to one person. You had Dr. Gutierrez doing community presentations. You had Coach Daly going out doing those presentations as well, sharing personal anecdotes about when he played ball at Smoky Joe 20 years ago. Essentially the field and facilities were exactly the same as they are today. We had our principals doing school messenger calls to their families, their parents at their schools, to encourage folks to go out and vote, early vote on election day. I know a lot of people got tired of those phone calls, but I think we annoyed enough people to get them to go out and actually cast their ballot instead of ignore those calls. So, of course, we had outdoor signage, something a little bit different we had than what we've done in the past. We here at district office focused on our employees and focused on our parents. And of course, the testimonials, and really just getting a simple message out there, not getting too involved, being able to explain the zero tax increase, what that meant. That was the biggest question, the recurring question we got throughout the pre-bond process was what does that look like? How can you pay for it if there's no tax increase? So with the help of the business office, legal counsel, and being able to get that simple language out there, I think it really helped the community, and it goes on the trust that we've been able to build with our community. An area of focus, one thing that our strategic planning group has done, community engagement group has done, starting back in November, Miss Tanisha Hearn has been hosting virtual meetings with our campus employees who utilize social media for their campuses. These have been virtual meetings. They're held at 4 o'clock, kind of at the end of the day. We've had 6 of them since November, and she takes about 20 minutes to go over best practices on social media, go over some of the finer points of Facebook, finer points of Twitter, how to deal with parents over social media and engage parents, and really just create an opportunity to not only share those best practices, but provide some training, open it up for questions that our campus reps might have. And in our campuses, we have several different people using the social media for that campus. Our principals do it. Sometimes it's a technology person or a librarian or perhaps a teacher who's really interested in doing social media. So there's a few folks at each campus who are involved. When we first started this, the attendance was great. I think at our second meeting in December, we had 30 attend that virtual meeting online. But as you could imagine, the further we got in the school year, especially when we got into March, April, and May, those numbers started getting a little bit smaller. Our May 10th meeting, we had 5, and our March and April meetings, we had 9 respectively. So we're going to be tasked with how are we going to figure this out to get more people involved. I think we'll get a schedule out, plan a schedule for the whole year this summer, get that out at the first of the year so people can calendar it with the knowledge that at the end of the year it gets extremely busy, especially when you get into April and May. We're going to try to front load some of those meetings to maybe have fewer meetings later in the spring. And we also thought that, of course, the importance of attending, we can reinforce that as well, and I think that'll help. Of course, incentivizing, it works for our campus folks when it comes to attendance. So we may be handing out pickles and popsicles to those employees who attend these meetings. We'll reward and bribe them. We're not above that. So anyhow, I think we'll get that area of focus in a better place next school year, as we move forward with this part of our community engagement piece. Thank you. Any questions?
All right, it doesn't like it from over here. And so just as a reminder, we will be back in June for one last update for this school year. We will also be providing a quarterly update on our strategic goals, focusing on goals 1 and 2, this reading and math data. Thank you guys so much for your time. Any questions? Thank you.
Thank you, Allison and Sean. Now we'll move on to item 4C, Seguin ISD bond construction update. Perla Romero.
Good evening, President Guerra, Dr. Gutierrez, and members of the board. I'll be presenting the monthly bond construction update. I do want to remind the community that our bond updates are available on the website under district, bond information, bond updates. For bond 2019, you will see in the adjusted budget that has the remaining amount is $3,092, which is great because we are moving forward with our ball project that's expected to be completed in the spring of 2024. And I'll be showing some pictures of where we are with AJB. With AJB, you'll see the admin and 6th grade wing at segments A and C with the sheathing. That wasn't there before, so we are making progress on that. And then it's the same thing in the main entrance, and to the left is the library. The roofing segments over the admin and library building are shown here. For bond 2022, we haven't made any updates to the projects or estimated budgets. They remain the same. And we are on track with our timeline. The pictures shown here are the Vogel roofing project. The picture at the top shows the demolition of the roof, and then the picture at the bottom is the actual roof of Vogel. They are working on evenings to not disrupt class time or our students or teachers. For bond 2023 that has passed, we'd like to thank our community, and I'd also like to advise that we are going to post the bid for the general contractor on our website in the month of June. Do y'all have any questions for me? Yes.
How long typically does it take to get the bid in?
So we have to leave it on our website for a month, and then after that we schedule the, yeah. Any other questions?
I don't have a question. I just wanted to say that my 3rd grader was very disappointed to find out that the AJB school is not going to be teal and purple. He was very excited when we drove up there to pick his brother up, thinking that I was going to be the school colors, and he was very disappointed to find out.
Oh, man.
Yeah, thank you. I just had a quick comment. Yeah, I had the privilege of doing touring AJB today, and I was very impressed with the construction that's going on. I was in there moving on top of the roof. Look at the hot. Thank you.
Thank you.
But it is great to see progress. Excellent.
So now we'll move to item number 5, which is closed session. Board will adjourn into closed session pursuant to the following sections of Texas Open Meeting Act. 5A, pursuant to Texas Government Code Section 551.071, 551.074, 551.129. Consultation with legal counsel, including possible telephone consultation with legal counsel as necessary to address legal concerns, implications, and answer any legal questions regarding posted agenda items. 5A1, safety audit findings. 5B, pursuant to Texas Government Code Section 551.074, discuss personnel matters, including appointment, employment, evaluation, reassignment, duties, discipline, or dismissal of employee or employees. 5C, pursuant to Texas Government Code Section 551.072, discuss the sale, purchase, exchange, lease, or value of real property. So it is 7:53, and we will now go into closed session. be no action taken on item A. 6A. We'll move along to item 7, which is the consent agenda items. Consider and possible approval of, as applicable, policy BE local states that the consent agenda shall include items of a routine and/or recurring nature grouped together under one action item. All such items shall be acted upon by one vote without separate discussion, unless a board member requests that an item be withdrawn for individual consideration. The remaining items shall be adopted under a single motion and vote as applicable. 7A, approval of board minutes of special meetings in April 12th, 2023, special meeting April 18th, 2023, regular meeting April 25th, 2023, and special meeting May the 8th, 2023. 7B, approval of tax collection reports for April 2023. 7C, approval of proposed budget amendments and financial statements for April 2023. 7D, approval of donations received April 2023. 7E, Seguin Independent School District Purchasing Cooperative Management Fees Report 2022-2023. 7F, Personnel Information, Professional Employees. 7G, Acknowledged Public Information Act Request, April 2023. Does any member wish to pull an individual item? Having none, do I hear a motion to accept the consent agendas as read?
Mr. President, I make a motion for all to vote on all consent items.
Motion has been made by Mr. Wright and seconded by Mr. Amador to approve the consent agenda items. Any discussions? Any discussions? All in favor, raise your right hand. Opposed? 7-6-0. Thank you. Moving on to item 8, action items. 8A, adopt a resolution for the assignment of fund balance. Tony, Perla.
Good evening again. For the assignment of fund balance, we are seeking that we approve $300,000 for the Holdsworth Partnership that will run through 2023-2026. And this is going to be for district and campus leadership development. The card mix subscription that will run from 2022 to 2025 for $95,000. And the state and federal education services, also known as STATE, for financial and programmatic compliance efficiency audit services, for the total of being $420,000.
And I'll give a little bit of background on, as you all know, we were selected. We were one of 5 to 7. They haven't announced all of the districts to be selected to become part of the Holdsworth Partnership. We all realize the need to build leadership capacity, to have a principal pipeline, but to be able to retain our principals as there has been turnover over the years. And so with this 3-year partnership, they will heavily invest in the campus leadership team, in principals, and this includes all of the professional development, the travel over that course of the 3 years. What this would help us be able to do by the end is develop that 2-to-1 ratio. For every principal in the district, there are 2 people ready to step in to that vacancy. They help school districts think very strategically when it comes to developing that talent pipeline. They provide coaching from the superintendent level all the way down to the aspiring principal level. And of course, it happens in phases, with year 1 focusing on the leadership team at the district level. As we have kind of shifted, where we have invested with Model School Solution Tree, we've been able to take a lot of what we've learned over the years and create our own learning for our principals. This would take away from that need in investing in some of those professional development opportunities and focusing on the Holdsworth Partnership, with the hopes that we develop the principal pipeline and retain our principals for many consecutive years. With the Cardeneck subscription, one of the things that we have been speaking about in my 6 years is working with a master scheduler to get the support that we need for building a master schedule to level classes. And this is over the course of 3 years, including this school year. What we do anticipate is that with this level of support, it would likely pay for itself, because what we will end up finding in areas is that we are likely to be overstaffed in some areas. And so this will allow the secondary campuses to schedule smarter versus using an Excel spreadsheet where there is a lot of room for human error and the inability to make quick changes and to see the impact of eliminating one course, moving kids. This will help with that aspect. And then in the area of state and federal education, working with a consultant. We've not had, in my 6 years, the opportunity to have someone who could really come in and audit what we're doing with state and federal programs. So this would give us this opportunity to do that. In the end, we'll likely find cost savings as well and identify ways that we can benefit even more with state and federal programming.
Thank you, Dr. Gutierrez. Any more questions? Okay, do I hear a motion for item 8A as read? Do I hear a second? Motion has been made by Mr. Benamalor, and second by Joshua Bright, to accept item 8A. Any questions? Question? All in favor, raise your right hand. Against? Motion passed 6-0. Thank you. Moving on to item 8B, approval of the general contractor for fencing at Kennedy, Patlan, Rodriguez, and Vogel.
Yes, we are seeking to approve Dawson Construction as the general contractor for the fencing project at Kennedy, Patlan, Rodriguez, and Vogel. I would like to add, they were the only bidder because it's a competitive sealed proposal. They didn't know they were going to be the only bidder, so they did give us their best price, and also we did seek legal counsel so that we meet the requirement of the law, and they were able to confirm that it's okay that they were the only bidder.
Mr. President, I move for approval of the general contractor for fencing at Kennedy, Patlan, Rodriguez, and Vogel.
Motion has been made for item 8B. Do I have a second? Motion has been made by Linda Duncan and second by Denise Crittenden to approve item 8B. Any discussions?
I just have one thing. We had seen a presentation a few months ago about the fencing around the different schools, and there was discussion. Most of the schools looked really good, but the one obviously close to my heart because my kids go there is Vogel. Have we looked at a different plan for that? Is that being evaluated? Will we see those plans again, or is it just gonna go?
Well, we don't have a plan to share the plan again. There were some revisions based off the feedback that we received from you and others regarding Vogel, as well as additional communications with the principal. So primarily what we did to address some of the concerns you had expressed regarding Vogel is we pushed the fencing back that was closest to the building on the one side where there's after hours activities to allow for spillover parking. So we did address that. We also addressed the egress of buses as well as student and staff, parent drop-off, that kind of thing. We're pushing everything else the same that we talked about in the original presentation, where the fencing is going to go all the way around the entire perimeter of the property, except for those egress sites, with some gates that will be restricting the bus access site. So those were the things that met as close as we could to the standard that we're trying to apply to all the campuses. We're trying to employ a standard, but it's a standard that we can never fully attain. And Vogel interesting turned out to be the one that was most difficult to stick with the standard because of the unique shape and proximity of the property. But we did, yes, address that spillover parking. I think was the primary thing that we got some feedback on.
Great, thank you.
And just as a follow-up, it is gonna have a smaller diameter fencing where they won't be able to put
Yes,
this
sir.
in there.
Absolutely.
From the outside or the inside.
Correct. And now specifically with Vogel, that one is going to have the smaller weave, but actually in all of the properties, and I've mentioned this before, where you're facing you're exposed to the public view, it's going to be the plastic coated, and it will be black, so that it's just a little more attractive. But again, it's going to be the 8-foot fencing, smaller weave. It's not going to have anything at the top. It's not going to be bent at the top. It's just going to be a nice flat fence. But there'll be a lot of it at Vogel.
A lot of property. Any questions? Thank you, Tony. Do I hear a motion to approve item 8C? Who made the first?
And I seconded
Oh, we did. I'm sorry about that. Okay. All in favor, raise your right hand. All against? Motion passed 6-0. And then we'll move on to item 8D, possible action to approve, 8C, approval of the general contractor for welding shop at Seguin High School.
Okay, so I asked Perla if she would let me present this one. It's a little unique. This is the welding expansion project, and if you recall, at the last board meeting, I think it was the last board meeting, we requested that you give us authority to use fund balance to the tune of $200,000 to fund this welding expansion in the CTE area at the high school. We processed the bid. We only had one respondent. And as Perla alluded to, Ms. Romero, in the previous agenda item, we've run this through legal counsel. We meet the letter of the law. We can still proceed and be legal in terms of procurement. We've done a bid. It's a concealed bid. Respondents don't know if other respondents are going to respond to any given bid. So it's competitive. It meets the law. The problem we have here is not only did we only get one respondent, but the price came in higher than what we expected, and actually $161,000 higher. Looking at the details and trying to understand why it came in higher, we realized that there's some infrastructure related costs that were not in the original projection of $200,000. So we met after we opened the bid, saw what we were working with. We reached out to Mr. Vu and CTE department to see what they wanted to do. And their options were, we could rebid, change the specs and rebid. We could leave the specs the same, and they could come up with $161,900. Or we could just scrub the whole thing and not do the project at all. Wait for another time, perhaps a bond issue or something of that nature. I did talk with our legal counsel, and what I wanted to be sure of was that if Azteca, which is a reputable firm, our team feels like we can work well with them, we're getting a good price, there is a reason why the price is higher than what we originally expected, and it's valid. They feel like we could negotiate down the scope of the project to fit within our budget. That would be something that they'd be willing to do. It's going to take a little bit of time. We have to work with the engineers. We have to work with the vendor. But speaking with Mr. Vu, the CTE department would like to pursue that avenue. They would like to see if we can negotiate the scope down. And that may or may not mean half the number of days. I mean, we're nearly double the price we expected. We were originally anticipating 12 bays. Does this mean we only get 6 additional bays? I can't say that for sure, because the engineer will have to let us know. Maybe there's a threshold where you reach that now that pushes the infrastructure cost through the roof. And I'm not qualified to tell, what number of bays we can have. But Mr. Boo and his team felt like that would be the best approach, to get what we can for the $200,000 that we've set aside. And then that way we don't have to rebid and delay the project. So if you're okay with allowing us to do that, then we have legal authority to do that. As I mentioned, we run it through our attorneys. It's okay to negotiate. We're changing scope, and we're not jeopardizing relationships with any other vendors. No one else responded to the bid.
Does our motion have to reflect that negotiation, or we're just picking the contractor?
We're simply making the recommendation that we work with Azteca. Negotiation is something that we're allowed to do on any given occasion, but in the interest of transparency, I'd like to just make sure the board understands we're going to negotiate the scope down to the $200,000 that you gave us to spend. That's what we intend to do. We're not going to spend $361,000 of, it's $161,000 more than you've given us permission to spend.
Is it possible that you need to come back to us, because we know there's a need for the additional bays? If we're okay with that happening, would there be funds available?
So there is another option. You could approve it as is, knowing that I have not come to you with an additional $161,000 of fund balance assignment, but you'll have to know that next month, that's what I'm going to do, is ask for an additional $161,000 of assigned fund balance. That's an option, so that we cover the project. And we can do that. We can go ahead and start the project. There's nothing wrong with that. Let's just hypothetically play it out. You approve the project and you don't want us to negotiate it. You want us to leave the scope the way it is. You intend, as we walk away today, that I'll spend $361,000. I've only got $200 set aside in fund balance. I come to you next month with the additional request of $160,000. Something happens between now and next month and you decide you don't want to approve that fund balance assignment. It doesn't change anything. We just have to find it in the budget. I don't get to spend fund balance on it. I'm still going to be tied to the contract that we'll have negotiated at that point in time for $361,000. I can't get out of that once we sign on the dotted line. Does that make sense? So I would hope that you wouldn't do that to me. Let us, if you want us to proceed at 361, we'll do that. I just need to bring a fund balance assignment request next month. I'll make additional amount.
Any particular reason why we're not getting anybody to bid on projects right now?
I think with this one, as well as the roofing project, what we're running into right now is not very long before summer, and all the contractors that are doing work, they're scheduled up. And I mean, if you think about safety and fencing, that's a hot commodity right now. Everybody wants it, and it's also.
But it's also very specialized fencing too. There's that technical component.
Absolutely, and that applies in this case as well. So both of those projects, I know it's very coincidental that in both items that we brought to you today, both bids, we've only had one responding. I do not think that's indicative of what we expect to see in the future, but these aren't huge projects, but they're unique, and the timing is making it difficult for respondents to have time for it. In our time frame, we want this done in the summer. And we wanted the other one done in the summer too, so we're putting a little burden on them as well.
I know this has become a very popular CTE program, and we have more students who are wanting to get that certification and go right to work after school. And I think if we need more, then we need to provide more.
Yeah, I agree with Mrs. Duncan. After seeing the CTE signing day and the majority of those students being welding certifications and going right to work out of that, I agree with Mrs. Duncan, Ms. Duncan, I'm sorry. Ms. Duncan, that we need to make this capable.
Yeah, the need is there. I mean, I toured it when I first came on the board 4.5 years ago, and that's one that was brought up at that time. And 4.5 years later, so I can just imagine the growth that's gonna happen 4 years from now, so yes, it's just, I think it's one of those things to do, but tonight, you're just asking us to vote for this. Okay.
Correct, and so to be perfectly clear, you don't have to clarify to me or to the community whether you're asking me to negotiate down or not. I have enough information, and Dr. Gutierrez, you can clarify that for me on Monday, if we're gonna go ahead and request fund balance assignment next month for the additional amount. And so what I guess I'd really need to know is, do you want us to negotiate or do you want us to leave the scope the same?
And I think, and we've had conversations as to how to best move forward, and I think we all realize that we're gonna, with the growth that's coming, not just in new students, but just the growth in our CTE programming, there's gonna be a need down the road for a bond to have a heavy emphasis on CTE. And so when we talked about, okay, could we put this off for another 2 or 3 years? If you think about it, then we come back out to our voters, and then by the time we have completion of that construction project, then we lose 4, 5, 6 years. And as you all know, I mean, today we had 105 students attaining an industry-based certification. There is certainly a need, and this has been a need now for over 4 years. And we're just excited about the opportunity to work with this contractor. And you know, in our mind, we were coming with the idea to downsize, but I think we all understand too that the need is there, and we want to continue to send more students off with this really important certification that can give them really good paying jobs as soon as they walk away from Seguin High School.
Mr. President, I would like to make a motion to approve the general contracting for the welding shop at the high school and not change the scope of work.
Second.
Motion has been made by Mr. Bright to approve item 8D as is, not to change the scope of work, and seconded by Linda Duncan. Do we have any more discussions? All in favor, raise your right hand. Against? Motion passed, 6-0. Thank you, Tom.
Thank you for the clarification.
Dr. Gutierrez, just to make this clear, we're trying to get this done this summer too, right? That's what we're talking about, the fencing and the welding shop being extended this summer?
Go ahead, Mr. Hilberg.
I just wanted to clarify that for everybody viewing.
Yes, that is the plan. The fencing, I don't think will be a problem. We may run into some issues with the welding project. We're doing everything we can. Now that we're not gonna be negotiating, it's more likely that we'll be able to get this thing done over the summer. But again, with that, there's some infrastructure when it comes to electrical, so there may be some delays. But the plan is, yes, get it done over the summer.
That's outstanding, thank you.
Now we'll move to item number 9, board comments and requests. Oh, I'm sorry.
Almost.
The main one. Almost. Item 8D, possible action to approve superintendent's evaluation instrument, Ms. Allison Pate.
With our deputy superintendent vacancy, several folks have assumed additional roles and responsibilities, and one of those people being Allison Pate, who has taken on the superintendent evaluation, but she was already working very closely with Mark on this evaluation instrument, so it really is a seamless transition, and Ms. Pape and I have been meeting on a weekly basis. We had conversations about what this presentation would look like as well, and so with that, I'm going to turn it over to Mrs. Pape.
Good evening again. Yes, we are coming to you tonight with a we're coming to you with a recommendation that the Seguin ISD Board of Trustees approve the superintendent's evaluation instrument for the 2022-2023 school year. I'll have a timeline in just a minute, but as a reminder, this was an instrument that Dr. Kintu brought in the board workshop back in April. So we have gone through the process, you guys have had a chance to provide feedback, and so tonight the recommendation is just to get possible action for the final approval. Just a reminder, the superintendent evaluation tool this year, we're really excited to tightly align it to the strategic planning process. And so you see up here kind of a summary of our guiding principles, our mission, vision, and strategic priorities, and of course our 7 strategic goals. While I don't have the entire instrument up there, I really just wanted to send show a reminder of how it will be scored. So the process itself is that task force chairs will provide evidence about each one of the strategic goals listed there. Just as in the past, you will receive a binder with evidence of those goals, and then there will be scoring points as you see here. Just noting that goal 5 with the OHI is NA for this year, because the OHI, this is the first year that we are using that tool to determine staff satisfaction. There will still be evidence collected, it will still be part of the overall instrument, but there will not be points assigned, again, per I think the workshop guidance, that was the recommendation, so just wanted to point that out. Again, I mentioned just a timeline of events as a reminder. There were some items that took place in April. The board had an opportunity to workshop and have discussion around the tool. DEIC, which is our community improvement group, they were able to review the tool in April and approve the tool at the May 15th meeting. We had a formal approval. We are coming to you tonight with the, again, recommendation to approve the instrument. And then September 13th is the date that is currently on the books for the special board meeting for the possible approval of the full evaluation. It is a little later than the traditional time frame. Last year it was done in July. It's pushed a little bit because of the timeline of the release of STAR scores. And so we will have all other evidence collected, but we will just wait for that final piece of information from TDA. So that is just an overview of the tool, and again, we come to you guys tonight with a recommendation for that approval.
Any questions for Ms. Pate? Thank you. So do I hear a motion to approve item 8D as read? Motion has been made by Mr. Van Moor, second by Ms. Duncan. All in favor, raise your right hand. All against? Motion passed, 6-0. Item 9, board comments and requests. Having heard none, we'll move to item number 10, meeting to adjourn. Motion by Mr. Van Moor, second by Mr. Jenkins. Any discussions? All in favor, raise your right hand. Against? Motion passed, 6-0.